everyone. Happy Boxing Day and welcome
Cool.
to Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark, who actually celebrates Boxing Day because he's Canadian. And
Do I
we're
ever?
here.
Unbelievable. Such a, you know, there's your tier rankings for holidays. Boxing Day is right there, right up
I'm
there.
sure. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure. But what it is a good day for is Premier League football. We had
Yeah,
some
that was
good
good.
games today,
Mm-hmm.
and we will be talking about them later. We're going all the way back to Thursday to get started with the matches we're
Is that what it
talking about
was?
here
Yeah,
today.
last Thursday. Well, some of these matches are good. It was a good weekend. I could think of one match that was pretty bad. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but only one. Well, we'll start with the first one. We'll start Palace and Brighton. And it was a match that started the week.
It was.
Really nothing much to it, except for like the first goal or whatever comes with what's his name, Bart Verbruggen. Is that how you say his
Mhm.
last name?
I think so.
Just a goalie brain fart. He gets pressured. He tries to clear the ball. It goes off Michael Elise's head. Will Hughes gets it back to Elise, and then a nice little crossover to Jordan Ayew, who scores. And I really liked Ayew in this game. It's one of the he's a name that you haven't heard much about from Palace for a while. Him and Essie, you never hear about Essie
Yeah.
anymore either. Anyways, Michael Elise stealing the show over there. He's been fantastic since coming back from injury, almost going to Chelsea. Looks like he might have dodged a bullet with that one. But Brighton wasn't, Brighton was okay in the first half, but they were much better in the second half, and gets paid off with a goal. Pascal Gross, whose name I love to spell more than I love to pronounce because it has the most interesting letter in maybe sports history. Anyways, he finds Danny Welbeck. Nice, slow, kind of looping header. Finds the top corner to tie the game. Brighton gets a point. Palace gets a point. So, you know, that's a Thursday football game for you, I guess. Really, there
Yeah.
wasn't much excitement to this game, but, it's always it had a couple nice plays in it. But yeah, this will not be one that when they tell the story of 2023, people will omit this one for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really remember all that much about it already, and it was only on Thursday, so
There's
um
been a lot. There's been a
Danny
lot.
Welbeck's goal was a nice header.
Yeah,
Um
it was a nice placement. It's just so slow. It just came off his head so
yeah.
slow. It's like one of those things you see in like a sitcom when or something like that, or an inspirational movie when the ball's going and everybody watches or whatever, and it's slowly drifting. But this is in real time. It's just that slow. Just everybody
Yeah.
watches. Yeah,
Our buddy in the chat here might remember it more than I do because he says shout out to Chris Richards for playing the holding six. I don't remember Chris Richards playing in midfield in that game, but sure.
sure, that's fine. Fair smooth on everybody. National American treasure. I'm just gonna say that right now. They should probably make him mayor. All right. Speaking of your national treasures, Adelia, we
Mm-hmm.
should have maybe have Justin talk to everyone watching about our Patreon.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
That is patreon.com/LGR_network if you're interested in helping support the channel. And another way you can help support the channel is by subscribing to the channel. It helps us out because then you'll know when we're on.
That's right.
And you won't miss anything. And there's a lot going on over the next couple of weeks that you don't want to miss.
There's a lot.
Yeah, subscribe.
That's true. Now, we're moving on to the Friday match. We got Aston Villa at home in their fortress they have at Villa Park, playing lowly Sheffield United.
Yep.
and they're utterly dominating them. They were kicking the hell out of them, except for the one problem: they couldn't get a goal.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like they should have scored. Leon Bailey should have had a goal. How that gets pulled away after a full. Okay, so they're saying that in the lead up to this play, there's a corner. Fotheringham gets pulled down at some point. They say it looks like a full 13 seconds goes by. Not only that, they had control of the ball and were moving up. They lost control of the ball. The ball was taken in and turned around. They said after Bailey scores, he's onside. He's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the goal. But they say that because 13 seconds earlier, it looked like the keeper gets brought down, so they wave it off.
This made no sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
like as
13 seconds is going by. You can't pull something back for 13 seconds.
Where was this before?
Yeah.
They just never did it before. So whatever. Anyways, Cameron Archer gets Sheffield United on the board. 87 minutes in. 15 straight matches at home, winning streak. They could move to top of the table with a win in this match.
Yeah.
Did you ever expect even just a goal like this happen? And what was I think the percentage was like 77% of the ball or something like that belonged to Villa. It was crazy. They were never like Sheffield United had no business being in this, but that's why you play the games. So Villa scores, but they're given 9 extra minutes of stoppage time, probably because they were looking at that Leon Bailey goal. And so Nicolo Zaniolo had come on earlier, and he's the one who gets the goal to salvage at least a point for Villa, to at least save some face. But I remember us talking about when we were doing up the predictions earlier in the week. Like, there's no chance. Like, we gave them no chance.
No chance.
At one time, we called Sheffield United the worst team we'd ever seen. Well, since we started doing this show. Well, there you go. Strange things can happen. Villa only manages a draw at home to Sheffield. The winning streak's now over. We'll see. Villa has another match this week, as does Sheffield. They both played today. They both had, let's say, similar results.
Yeah. Yeah. Our buddy Ferris in the chat says he just checked. Chris Richards has been playing in midfield for 4 weeks. This tells you how little of an impact that's made on my brain that I have no idea that that's happened. He also wants to know why Zainolo is playing. Didn't he get caught betting unless he was the snitch?
He was probably a snitch.
He was probably the snitch.
Yeah, I don't remember him actually being on before, so he may have been suspended right up until this time. But yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw Zaniolo on the pitch.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, can't remember at all. I don't think it's happened, but I'm not going to look it up right now. So we got a lot to talk about here, Adelia. Gosh darn it, it's Boxing Day. It's a Boxing Day. It's the one day of the year you look forward to as a Canadian, as an Englishman, I guess, as well. All right, maybe not so much. All right, so we're going to move on. West Ham, London Stadium, hosting a United team where United actually were the better team in the first half.
Yeah.
They held the lion's share of possession throughout the match. But second half, they just disappeared. Getting one. I don't think they got one shot on target the entire second half. Tough to score with that. And it turns out West Ham have a couple players that have been doing pretty well for them. I think we just mention them every week. We might as well consider them co-stars of the show.
Yeah.
We got Jared Bowen scoring from a nice feed from Paqueta. Speaking of people who shouldn't be playing.
Yep.
yeah, just finds a way through Onana. Like, I don't know. It's whatever. I think it just.
I mean, lots of balls have found their way through Onana this year, so I'm not really surprised that another one did.
Yep. And then Mo Kudus, again, a nice play with Paquette again. Pass him the wall pass to spring him forward. And another goal. So the two guys you look to at West Ham, they keep producing for them. They move up to 6th in the table. West Ham United. The Hammers are 6th.
Yep.
And it's one of the worst weeks of my life. And it's going to keep getting worse. We're going to talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, hooray for West Ham. But we could say team I hate almost as much as West Ham, maybe more. Probably more than anybody in the English Premier League is Fulham. And they got to play lowly Burnley. And they get to do it at Craven Cottage.
Yep.
So, first, of course, when we're talking about the match, we have to say congratulations to Rebecca Welch becoming the first female official, I guess head referee, I suppose, in Premier League history, right?
Yes.
And then the assistant VAR was a woman as well, Natalie Aspinall. So yeah, good for them.
I thought she did really well too.
She was fine. There was a couple things I didn't like, not from her, but there did look like a bit of bullying going on. There would be calls, and they'd have 3 or 4 guys going on at a time.
I didn't like that either.
She should have picked one. Should have just picked one. Yellow card him right away. That's got to stop. It can't happen. Next week, I'm sure she's going to get told about it. It's like, do not let them do that to you. That was ridiculous. That was horseshit. But what else are we going to say about this match? 2 words. James Trafford. He's pretty good. 2 things. If I could go back in time, be anybody in the world, I would like to be his agent, because this summer there's going to be a dump truck full of money brought to his house, and they're just going to leave it on the front lawn. Say, here you go. Swimming it like you're Scrooge McDuck. This kid's going to be worth it. Another fantastic performance. A clean sheet. I think that's only the second clean. We talk about this guy, about how great he is, and that's only the second clean sheet of his season so far. So just tells you how much he's needed for that squad, even though they're fighting to get out of relegation. But, everybody in that spot, at least for these early matches, did well. Who scored for them? Wilson Odeber. He had a nice goal. Sandra Burge. They both scored from similar spots. Bernd Leno really made a mess of the Sandra Burge one, but no one's crying for Fulham on this channel. I can tell you that.
No.
They got to be better.
Ferris is saying, whose agent? James Trafford, Ferris, the goalkeeper for Burnley. Yeah. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's
terrific. He's kept them in games that they shouldn't have been in. And
20 years old?
Yeah, he's real young.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of the greats, at least so far. There's gonna have to be a catastrophic injury to stop his rise, I think. And he's certainly not gonna be it at Burnley.
Yeah, it's not going to be Burnley.
Unless somehow they manage to stay up. That'd be crazy. But you would imagine that they're chomping at the bit to sell this kid. Got to sell at the top.
Ferris, we have enough of a goalkeeper issue with 2 really good goalkeepers at the moment. We don't need to add in James Trafford.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it would be unfair on this kid, with as well as he's played, to go put him somewhere behind someone and make him sit on the bench for most of the season now.
I'm trying to think of a spot to put him. Like, where would he go? You look at Fulham, like Jose Sa's not a bad goalkeeper. I wouldn't put him in West Ham.
And see, I don't know where he'd go.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, everyone, like, you could say Chelsea, but Chelsea's screwed. I don't think he'd sign there anyways. They have put themselves in in a pickle with some of the signings and stuff like that. Now they're talking about having to sell Conor Gallagher or something like that. The only guy who seems to show up every week, even though he gets a little out of hand. I think it's the term we could use. The yellow cards. He's not the only one. Anyways, we'll talk about that. Let's keep moving on. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Adelia. We got an emotional match. Kenilworth Road. The first match since Tom Lockyer's cardiac. Has they said it's arrest, or should we say it's like
cardiac arrest?
It was cardiac arrest.
Cardiac arrest.
So it's first match back since that last match at Bournemouth. We got not even suspended. What was it called? What's the official word?
Abandoned.
Yeah, it's
abandoned.
It was abandoned. Well, Andros Townsend pays the greatest tribute he can for Tom Lockyer after Ross Barkley Ross Barkley gets ahead from a corner. It falls to him, heads it in, and Luton go up on a Newcastle squad that didn't look like they knew really what they were doing out there.
No, Newcastle were so awful. Shout out though to the Newcastle fans who did have a nice banner saying "Get well soon" to Tom Lockyer. I thought that was classy of them. Their team didn't play well in this game.
It looks like Isak has been getting better. It looks like he scores. They call him offside.
Yeah.
He's offside by what? Maybe an elbow? Is this what the rule is supposed to be? Yeah. Well, a disappointing match for Newcastle. They have not had the best run of form as of late. Any team that can lose to Chelsea is probably not a very good squad at the moment. They talk about they've had a bunch of injuries. They're getting players back. There's just something a little off, but at least they're going to get more rest. They don't have Champions League to worry about. They don't have the Carabao Cup to worry about anymore. Yep. Adelia.
With the way that they're playing after next weekend, they won't have or not next weekend, but the weekend after, they won't have the FA Cup to worry about. I don't know who they have in the FA Cup, but they're not playing like a team that's going to win that game.
Nope. I think their goalie goes down. I think that's the hardest one for them to take, right? The Czech. Pope. Yeah, the Czech kid comes in. It just hasn't looked the same. Even though Eddie Howe's talking him up and saying he's world-class goalkeeper. It's like, it's like you're saying, like if you're saying your kid is the best baseball player you've ever seen or something like that. It's like, go get him, champ. He's not. He's not very good. And they haven't looked the same. And they don't look like a confident bunch. And this is more like the Newcastle we've grown to despise over the years. So there you go.
Yeah.
Good job, Jordies. Anyways, moving on. We still got lots. Forest, Bournemouth, and the unfortunate inevitability happened this week. Something that I know I didn't want to see happen. So I liked the guy. I thought he was the most English-looking person in the entire Premier League. But Steve Cooper officially got the sack this week. A man that brought them from circling the bowl in the championship to the Premier League in 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Given 18 months in the Premier League and not in danger of relegation. So, anyways, whatever. They get rid of him. He'll end up in a spot. He'll end up in a spot that will appreciate him. That'll give him money to actually go get things, not just a hobbled Callum Hudson-Odoi. Oh, I just thought of one thing. So he gets replaced with Nuno Espirito Santo.
Yep.
A 2.5-year contract. Guys, he used to coach Spurs, so he must be good.
Yeah, he lasted 4 months at Spurs?
Maybe. But he did last like 7 years at Wolves, and they were actually
good at Wolves. He did good at Wolves.
So same kind of club. I think this is the right size club for Nuno.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't it wasn't the best game to make your debut, having to go up against a Cherry squad who have been on fire. What was the last time you saw a Bournemouth team ever be good? Never mind this good.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's terrible. Oh, one thing we should talk about before we start talking about goals and stuff like that. Robert Jones is the referee, and
Oh boy,
Willie Bully's on a yellow card, and then he's given a second for a sliding tackle that wins the ball cleanly, and he gets stepped on.
Yeah, I was watching this and I was like, what in the hell is this ref thinking? And because it's a second yellow, VAR can't intervene.
They can't do anything.
Say, you got this completely wrong.
Yeah, that was shameful. It was
terrible. This is the worst sending off I've seen this year.
Yeah, that's in the notes as well. I can't remember when it was this bad. Like I was thinking maybe like the Tomiyasu one or whatever with Arsenal or whatever with the time wasting or whatever. But
the Tomiyasu one was bad, but like I can see if they're trying to be letter of the law to the time wasting thing, why they sent him off.
Yeah.
This one, clean tackle, he gets stepped on, he gets sent off.
Yeah.
It made no sense to me.
Makes no sense. And, Nuno had been around for 2 days?
Yeah.
I highly doubt he even knows his own way to the pitch yet. He probably have to have a driver. Never mind the squad guys' names. So I don't think he had any time to teach him 10-man tactics. But it's Alanga that gets the first goal.
Yep.
Nice pass from Chris Wood on that one. More about him later. Dom Solanski, who's been come on, Dominic Solanski this year. Getting goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now Solanki. Gets goals 51st and the 58th minute. And then Chris Wood, who again, we'll talk about this week, equalizes in the 74th. Getting his head to a Morgan Gibbs White corner. But guys, Dom Solanski, a hat trick for Dom Solanski, dragging his club, kicking and screaming to victory, climbing left. He gets up high to get that ball.
Yep.
And Adam Smith cross. 3 more points for the Cherries. At that point, they're at 12th. This was on Saturday. We'll see how they do Tuesday. But Bournemouth, what a story they've been. Over the last month and a half.
They did not start well under Andoni Iraola, but they have really started to play very well lately.
They've been really good. A team that had been playing good had to play a team that had been playing mediocre at best, where Tottenham hosting Everton and somebody who had been mediocre, who has been pretty good lately, Richarlison gets another goal from his boot. He gets another from his boot. Unbelievable.
He's scoring with his feet.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's figured it out, guys. It's not just his face anymore. A real nice pass from Brennan Johnson. Son gets a goal here a few minutes later. Again, Brennan Johnson rebound that falls to him. Past Jordan Pickford. Now, Jordan Pickford looks like he runs into a Tottenham guy on the play, but they decided no call needed to be made with that. The guy was very much just in his way on the goal crease, but whatever. I was fine. Like I'm not saying there was a conspiracy. I was fine with it. I was fine with that. Tom Calvert-Lewin looked like he brought the toffees with one, but his goal is overturned by a VAR on a foul the judge he made on Emerson Royal on the lead-in. Again, what?
Yeah, I didn't understand this at all.
Anyway, Everton was a much better squad in the second half. They did get a well-deserved goal. Andre Gomez scores.
A great strike from Andre Gomez.
But Spurs held on. Now we talked about goalkeeping and the Trafford's been good, but Vicario has been very good for Spurs.
He has been.
A couple of a couple of stinkers. I think that's been the difference between the two. Like James Trafford will let in goals, but he's had no choice because he has no defense in front of him.
Yeah.
Tottenham has players. Vicario has been very good for those players, but he's also been letting a couple goals in. One last thing I wanted to talk about, like on Christmas, what is this? December 23rd, this match? How dare Everton wear those jerseys?
That's their away kit.
Navy and coral.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
can understand why they weren't in their home kit. Like, it doesn't clash with Tottenham's kit. Like,
Nope.
I didn't get it.
It very much does not. There was a club that went this entire year without using their away kit until this week. I'll talk about that later. Let's talk about a match that you were probably more interested in.
Yeah.
Newcastle Forest. No, I'm just kidding. Liverpool Arsenal. And you guys came out like your house was on fire.
Yeah.
For that the first 3 minutes especially, leading up to Gabrielle's goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the next 15 minutes or so, you guys were very good. And then the foot went off the gas.
Yeah.
So, it's Mo Salah gets the goal. Not great defending by Zinchenko on the play.
No, not great at all.
I don't know if that's when Ferris sent that note or whatever but he doesn't know how long Zinchenko would last or whatever. It's like it turns out Mo Salah's pretty good.
Salah is pretty good, but you have to do better than Zinchenko did there.
Yeah. I'd just say I don't think it's a pattern of plays like that from Zinchenko,
No.
but he hasn't had a great run of form as of late.
Yeah.
I want to ask, because guys, there wasn't much to this. Like that Salah goal was in the 28th minute. It wasn't very exciting football. It was two tactical teams matching each other. Like if you want that kind of thing, if you wanted the chess match, it was a really good match. But how scared were you when you saw that ball leave Trent Alexander-Arnold's foot?
I was convinced that was a goal.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't, and I was very happy.
He hit the hell out of that crossbar, I can tell you that.
He did. That was a 5-on-1 that became a 5-on-2 because William Saliba kept pace with Darwin Nunez all the way back down the pitch and basically took away Nunez as an option for Salah, so he passed his Alexander-Arnold, who hit the crossbar, and we got lucky on that one. We also got lucky, I would say, on the Martin Odegaard handball.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, so my commentator said the word from VAR was that he was bracing himself as he fell.
That's happened to Chelsea before too. I didn't agree with it then either.
And I just am like, I don't know that was what he was doing. I
don't think it was falling. I don't think he was
falling. He didn't fall. I don't even think his hand hit the ground. It was very strange. We got very lucky on that. But I'll take it.
Yep, for sure. Arsenal were guaranteed to be tops of the table at Christmas. Second year in a row, I should say.
I said I'd take a draw out of that game, and we got a draw, so I'm happy. I would have preferred to win. Yeah, but you can't always get what you want. And with as badly as we've been beaten at Anfield in recent years, I will take a draw.
Yeah, tricky and mischievous things have happened at Anfield for sure. Yeah, and Unai Emery should be kicking himself after letting that opportunity go. Chance to get 3 fairly simple points at home against a weak club who just changed managers. But things fell into place for your squad. So far in the week. Now we get to talk about the Chelsea Football Club. And Chelsea lose at Molineux to the Wolves. Now,
I'm sure this was a great start to your Christmas Eve.
I've called this episode underneath me a nightmare before Christmas. This was an absolute nightmare. For some reason, Robbie on Christmas Eve morning was up at 6:30. So he said, "Oh, goody! I get to watch Chelsea on my big screen in the living room." So I sit down with a cup of coffee, ready to enjoy some Christmas Eve football and not yell and scream and wake up everybody in my house. And by 20 minutes into this thing, I had to have a pillow over my face because let's talk Chelsea for a second.
Yeah.
Unbelievably disappointing from them. They're just filled with mistakes. They miss chances. They flub chances. There's needless yellows now. Like Cole Palmer doesn't get to play next week. Who else doesn't get to play next week? It's either Malo Gusto or it's Nicholas Jackson. If it's Nicholas Jackson, I won't lose any sleep.
I think it's Nicholas Jackson.
Nicholas
I'll double
Jackson. Nicholas Jackson is supposed to be a striker. Okay. Yes, he's young. Yes, he hasn't had very much experience, especially at a high level club, having played only whatever it was, a handful of games for Villarreal before coming over. He had scored 8 goals in 9 games or whatever, and so this is gonna be our guy. And at times in the preseason, he looked electric. But since the season started, like he got 3 goals. He's had 7 goals this year. 3 of them come against a 9-man Tottenham squad that we had to keep force feeding him the ball, and they kept trying to blow it. But he got those goals, and it's good. And it's always great to beat Tottenham. It's always great to score goals against Tottenham. He has so many chances with the ball just coming to him, just to hit it in. It's like he wants to stop it every time. He stops the ball to set himself up. I don't know if he understands the Premier League, but the other team wants that ball too. So he stops the ball, and there's always somebody in the way. There's always somebody there. You got to just get rid of it. I don't know what it takes. Obviously, the coach has faith in this guy. Nobody else does. Nobody else who follows the squad has faith in him right now. Eventually, he could be a great player, sure. But we aren't a training ground. Like, this is Chelsea Football Club. We've had some of the best strikers in the world. We can't just wait for this kid to eventually get it. He needs to get it. And he keeps playing. He was that bad, and they gave him 80 minutes. They pulled Broya out 59 minutes, and I had no problem with that. Armando Broya, like, aside from 10-minute spots at the ends of matches where he's made something happen, did he create anything? Did he create any space for himself? Can he pass? He certainly can't shoot. It's been terrible. He has to go on and when people's legs are tired. Like, that has to be his thing. And he's a local kid. I know it says he's from Albania and stuff like that. He's actually from not far down the road from Cobham, I think. So he's like a local kid. We want him to succeed, but he's not. And these are the players we got to get rid of. So we have to go get other players. We have to go get a striker, a world-class striker. But how do we do it? If we have to sell Conor Gallagher so we can keep Nicholas Jackson, what is happening to this club?
It is not Nicholas Jackson who is suspended. He already served his suspension. It is Raheem Sterling and Cole Palmer who are suspended.
Raheem Sterling. Let's move to him. He's had a good year, but he's showing it in flashes. Now he's sign waving. He'll have good matches. He'll have bad matches. But my nightmares were a continual loop of him going 3 on the keeper with Palmer and Jackson. So really 2.5 on the keeper. And when you're doing that, you have 3 options. The easy pass for the goal, hopefully to Palmer. You can dribble past the goalkeeper that's coming at you because he's a goalkeeper. And you're Raheem Sterling and you're so much faster. Or you could chip it over said goalkeeper. You don't just put it into the goalkeeper. I couldn't believe it. How did you not, how does he not see the pass? They had two guys wide open. There isn't a Wolves player for yards. How simple was it? How much did he think it was up to him? How do you not just chip it over? There's so much. Like I just, imagine if that was Eden Hazard. Well, it's that's so simple. That should be so simple. But that's what Chelsea has turned into this year. Chelsea just keeps losing. We've lost more than we've won this year. Like overall, this is the worst calendar year for Chelsea ever. Ever. We just keep losing. It's not good enough. Listen, like, and already, of course, the potch out things. Like, we are a huge, like, it's a joke now. But how we fire managers, we go through managers more than Spinal Tap goes through drummers. It's just a continual thing. Well, potch isn't right. Nobody's right. But nobody's going to be right for us until we start winning. And even when we start winning, if you lose like twice or whatever, then it's not good enough. Like, just think of some of the guys like Carlo Ancelotti getting fired in the dugout after a match. Like Carlo Ancelotti, that's our level. We get, an ex-Spurs guy, ex-PSG guy couldn't win with two of the best players, maybe, two of the best players of all time. I wouldn't say three, but two of them. Like Neymar isn't one of the best ever. Sorry, guys. No. But you have the best of all time, and you have that French kid that's pretty good. And he couldn't win with them. But is there a glimmer of hope, Adelia?
I don't know, you tell me.
Is there a shining German star there in the distance? Because eventually, in his wisdom, in the 58th minute or whatever it is, he puts on Christopher and Cuckoo. And the game changes. We'd already been down one. Lamina, because Chelsea cannot defend corners because all of our guys are way too small. And Badiashile puts himself in bad places. But this isn't on Badiashile. He just goes over. Lamina goes over people. He looks like he's 2 feet taller than everybody. Gets the goal, no problem. And then Badiashile had that bad play against Newcastle in Carabao Cup, and then he goes on to onto Twitter. What's he saying?
Bear says, Rob, you know what to do. It's time to bring the special one.
Could you imagine? We bring in one of my favorite Portuguese people ever. It's not gonna happen. No. They're gonna keep Pochettino for whatever friggin' reason, and because they don't want it to be a thing. They want to stuff, right? You know who you get rid of? You get rid of Win Stanley and those other guys. Anybody who's in like the recruiting and stuff like that, get rid of all of them. Get rid of this project.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. What are you guys doing? You guys want to be Bournemouth. Like, you guys are like, they're having a good run now, but you're looking at being 12th all the time. That's what you want for Chelsea? How much money did you pay for these guys? Plus, you guys just gave a pitcher who can't throw $700 million. I don't know. Whatever. That's a different sport, guys. Different sport. Anyways, and Kugu comes on. He scores a header of all things. But, yeah, he's incredibly fast. You can just see the talent pouring off of this guy. But he's still that same height. He's like, they're all 5'9", 5'10". Another loss to Wolves. So, again, Chelsea isn't getting relegated. This isn't going to be, a season that we have to worry about. I think all the stuff they said in the top of the year about trying to play for European spots, that's out the window. Now it's just, try to get 10th. Let's get 10th. Let's see progression somehow. But they're going to need a big January window. One other thing I wanted to just say quick is that I really do like Jordy Petrovic. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good. I think he's the best option. Kepa isn't going to come back. He's going to stay in Spain somewhere. If he's not at Real, he's going to be somewhere. Real is like, whatever. Or sorry, Sanchez. I said Robert Sanchez is whatever. I don't get it. For a guy who's supposed to be so good with his feet and can't distribute the ball, drives me nuts. Anyways, Chelsea lose. They're going to be dropping down because of what happened today. So we'll see. They've got a match this weekend versus a team that we should absolutely annihilate.
Should.
We don't have anybody up front, but, I guess Nkuku has to play 90 minutes now. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, that's the play. That was the first Christmas Eve match they've had in years and stuff like that too, I guess, in the Premier League. Thanks for that, guys. Jerks.
Yeah, Premier League's already said next year no matches on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Well, thanks for ruining Christmas. I cried myself to sleep. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's go on to matches we got to see today.
Harris wants to know who the German star you talk about is, Rob.
Christopher Nkuku. He's going to be fantastic. He was really good in the German league last year too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. He's just so small, but he's fast. Is he? Well, Eden Hazard was small, but now we're going to have a team of Eden Hazards, and at least he had big people to play with. They can't all be Eden Hazard. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's saying he's French. Yes, sorry, he's French, but I keep thinking about the German league. Sorry, I keep thinking about just his performance in the Bundesliga. Anyways, let's move on to the matches today. Matches I got to do while working. So, Newcastle trying to turn their season around at home. They got Nottingham Forest, who haven't looked good. Maybe,
No.
But they almost stole a match last week or this past week, down 10 men, and they get on the board first. A pretty soft penalty on Alexander Isak, who does an absolute barrel roll. A barrel roll. How embarrassing! I could never imagine. These guys get paid $1 million. I get it, but how embarrassing would that be just to barely get touched and just keep spinning?
Yeah, that was not a good penalty.
Like your crocodile food. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, Isak scores. But the story of this match, as we mentioned him a little earlier, is Chris Wood. Three goals. And honestly, should have had 4. Not long after Isak scores, Alonga and him came in 2-on-1. And Alonga decided to shoot or whatever. I think the better option was to pass to Wood. He got an earful from Chris Wood after that. That next play, or that next time down for that first goal, Alonga's coming in towards the touchline. That's 2 defenders, splits the ball between them, finds Chris Wood, easy tap in. There you go. That's more like it. He adds 2 more, and Nuno gets his first Forest win. Newcastle in a bit of a pickle. Let's just take a look at you. Newcastle, 4 losses in their last 5 games, Adelia. Moving down. Yeah.
They are in some trouble.
They're in some trouble for sure. Yeah, I don't see who's they're playing this week coming up.
I mean, when you have
they get Liverpool this weekend.
Yeah, they're not winning that game. No,
not looking any better.
No offense to Chris Wood, because he's a good player, obviously.
He's good,
but he's not someone that generally scores a hat trick. I don't think he'd ever scored a hat trick before.
Nope.
He's the first person to score a hat trick on Boxing Day fixture since Harry Kane in 2017.
Jeez.
I mean, this is not something that happens often.
Yeah.
But
you mean the famous German Harry Kane?
The famous German, I guess. Sure.
Yeah. I'm feeling that for first.
Did you, speaking of Harry Kane, slide aside, did you see he was staying in a hotel in Munich that cost over 10,000 euros a night and has been there since September?
Yeah, he probably considered it a little hostile or something like that too. He probably wasn't concerned with it. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised at the price. Don't get me wrong. I'm surprised at the price, and I bet you it's probably covered by Bayern too somehow.
Probably.
He's not doing it. I remember in the '90s, Roberto Alomar just lived at the Skydome Hotel. He never bought a house or anything. He just took the elevator down to work every day. So, yeah, I like that idea of just staying in a hotel and when you're playing somewhere. Don't have to worry about anything ever.
Yeah, over $1 million that he paid in this hotel to be there since September.
So
he's moved out now.
So it was like one of us staying at a Holiday Inn Express for one night, basically in price.
Yeah, sure, Ferris.
He gets it. I think they did pay for it. 100%. Yeah, there's no way he just paid for him by himself. But he said it was Thomas Mueller that told him it's time to get his own place or something like that. Thomas Mueller. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But who wants to live in Germany?
Yeah. Anyways, Forest played really well today.
They did. After
Newcastle did not.
After that penalty or whatever, it was just all Forest. Yeah, there was not much of a fight afterward. Yeah, they look good. They look sharp. Maybe switching was the right idea for them. Who knows? Yeah. Took a little while for them to get going, but now they've been training for a week, I guess. So,
do you think at some point, if this trend continues, Newcastle thinks about replacing Eddie Howe?
No,
I don't either. I've seen a lot of tweets today saying Eddie Howe's in real trouble.
No, I don't think so. Like, again, it had been 20-something years since they played in the Champions League. It's he's done pretty well for them. And again, they're not getting relegated, and there's no rush unless they want to put Steve Cooper in there. Is Steve Cooper going to make them a better squad right now? Probably not.
No,
probably not. Plus, they have all the money. Newcastle has all the money. If they want to wait and just go and get, the biggest name they can find in the world that isn't Pep Guardiola, they could probably do it. They could probably figure out a way.
Yeah, Ferris is saying Adelia the Forest tweet. There was a great tweet. Somebody at Social Chartered on Twitter said, a team named Forest winning against oil money back to Newcastle is what Greta Thunberg dreams of. Environmental derby with all 3 goals scored by a guy named Wood.
Oh my gosh. How dare you? How dare you? Isn't that what they're saying? How dare you? I like it. That worked out pretty well. Good for her. And them. Good for Forest. Yeah. No, it's good to see them.
It is good for Forest. They've moved back ahead of Everton. So they're in 16th.
That was a big game for
They're only 2 points out of the relegation zone, though, Forest.
Yeah, that was a big game for them. And so, because, like those bottom 3 teams all look good on the weekend.
Luton, picking up a couple of wins here, have moved into a much closer position to get out of the relegation zone than they were in before.
Let's skip the Bournemouth game. We'll just talk about that real quick. Sheffield and Luton, humdinger of a match.
Absolutely.
You gotta love a 3-2 comeback win and stuff like that, especially when you drop the lead. You go get the lead early. Alfie Dowdy putting Luton up in the 17th minute, and they held on to the lead for a while. That last 40 minutes was bananas. Last 25 minutes, really. Ollie McBurney getting a goal in the 61st. I'm going to say the name right. There's always a name every damn week. It's going to give me a little bit. But I got new glasses, Adelia, so I can probably figure it out.
Okay.
Anil Ahmed Hodzik.
I think that sounds pretty close.
Yes, I goddamn did it.
I believe he's the captain of Sheffield United.
Yes. He gets one 8 minutes later. Big goal.
Let's be clear about one thing here. Sheffield United scored the last 4 goals of this game. It's just the 2 of them were for Luton.
Yeah. Carlton Morris helped out. He puts crosses in. First one goes off Jack Robinson's head, and then there was people in the area at least. And then the other one goes off of Ben. Who's it? Ben Slimane? Is that his last name?
Slimani.
Ben Slimani. And then to blow it late, but Luton getting 2 wins in a row.
Yep.
Has Chelsea done that this year?
I don't know.
I don't think they have. I think it was a big deal that we won 2 games in a row at home this year. At home, that was sandwiched in between loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for Luton. We're gonna take a look. I'm gonna go take a quick look at the table. Let's look at down here at the bottom. Luton now, just a point behind Everton, and like you said, just 2 points behind Forest. They're 3 points behind Palace.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of teams that are starting to bundle now at the bottom. It could be a pretty tremendous race to the championship.
Yeah, I didn't bring this up earlier, but I saw a tweet today that Crystal Palace hasn't won in like 52 days.
Yep.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Good news for them. I'm pretty sure that they play Chelsea coming up. Yeah, they play Chelsea actually tomorrow. We'll get to our predictions for that real soon. Let's go back quickly because we're running. We're gonna do fine considering all the matches. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to that aforementioned a long time ago. AFC Bournemouth playing the lowly Fulham Cottagers. And it's another win. I believe, what is this? They've gotten points in six wins and a draw now in their last 7. Is that right?
Yep.
I think the more remarkable stat, we'll say that Justin Kluivert scores the first goal. It's a real nice setup by Alex Scott, but can Fulham play defense?
I don't think so.
He just literally went through 4 people. 4 people just stood and watched him go in. So, Kluivert gets the help from that. Now, Dom Solanke scores a penalty to put them up 2, which usually wouldn't be that big a deal. Penalties happen. We've talked about penalties in this show so far. And that maybe we could also talk that it's his 12th goal of the year for Solanke, tied with Mo Salah. Mo Salah.
For second.
Only 2 behind Holland now.
Yeah.
All right. What's more interesting, this is the first Bournemouth penalty in 609 days.
Yeah. That was astounding when I saw that they tweeted that.
It's like they always had to play at Old Trafford. It just doesn't happen. Luis Sinestra gets another one. Then the last one, the Sinestra scores, just running towards the middle of the box. That's something they were trying to do all game, and they were allowed to do it. They were just missing.
Yeah.
So there's a plan when you're playing Fulham, I guess. Just get cut to the middle. I hope a certain other Fulham-based team watches and say, "Oh, this is how you can beat them. Just go to the middle of the box and shoot." But you have to shoot.
Yeah. Bernd Leno shoved a ball kid at one point during this game.
That was funny. That kid has fucking big hair too. So yeah, again, the kid was being a jerk. And I guess this had happened a little bit earlier or whatever, and just not giving the ball and stuff like that. So you have to go get the ball himself. It wasn't a shove. He takes the ball and gives him one of these. It's like, get out of here. And so the crowd was on him for that. The 4th official had to go over there, talk to the kid. Eventually, he was moved away and put towards the dugouts there and stuff like that too. So he kind of got removed from his position after that. But and eventually he went over and gave the kid a hug and talked to him and waved to the fans and stuff like that. Says, sorry or whatever. I don't think he should have. I think he should have given one of these or whatever. Like, up yours, whatever. just Bournemouth. Who cares?
Yeah.
So keep moving. We're gonna keep moving on. What do we got?
Yep.
Two more matches left.
Yep.
We could talk quick about a really good team versus a pretty bad team with a great player again, because Liverpool beats Burnley at the Turf Moor, which is not surprising, and
No.
sandwiched between a very early goal by Darwin Nunez, a very late goal by Diego Jota, but they have this kid named James Trafford that Ferris just realized plays in the Premier League. Who's going to make an awful lot of money. And he will when he was fantastic again in that. Of course, Burnley, I'm going to say, okay. Now, I've never been a professional athlete, professional coach, Adelia. I do know one of the best ways to score goals is to get a shot on net. Well, Burnley failed to do that. They had 90 minutes. They had 90 minutes to accomplish that. They could not. James Trafford had 10 shots directed at him, 8 saves, and some of the highest quality as well. He was, again, terrific. He was just left out to dry by his teammates. He's going to be something. I really hope he doesn't replace like Allison or something like that at Liverpool, which could happen. I just keep thinking. I just keep nightmare scenarios about where this kid could end up. Maybe like Spain will want him. Maybe he'll go to like Barcelona or something like that. It's hard to say no to the Barcelonans.
Yeah.
He won't go to Italy, I can tell you that. Anyways, that move puts Liverpool up on top of the standings for now. There's a team that they have to play one more time this week, but Arsenal gets to play twice yet. We'll talk about those in the predictions part, but there was one last game at Old Trafford. Man United, the most puzzlingly evil team I can ever imagine. Against Aston Villa, again, a team that's fighting for first, a team that could have moved to first with a win. Had a 2-0 advantage heading to halftime. The United fans booed them off the pitch.
Yep.
John McGinn scored from a free kick, go straight in somehow. Just go straight in. I forget what they said about that, but that's just something that doesn't happen for Villa ever.
Yeah.
And so he scored a bizarre goal for them. Leander Dendocker scores.
Yep.
His first goal for Villa. Even though he's been there for 2 years.
He's generally not involved in scoring, so until he scored this goal, I forgot he still played for Villa.
Yeah, I had zero idea. So, United had been ruled offside 9 times. It cost them how many goals? 2 goals previous?
2, I think.
2 previous goals. And then it looks like just the light went on and they figured out Villa's offside trap and they were able to get guys moving. And it's Garnacho getting 2 important goals. And then they had to wait a while. But then the one man who I never wanted to see score, just because it's been so funny.
It has been very amusing.
Rasmus Højlund finally gets a goal. In the 81st minute. It was a nice goal. But again, it's that this is how you're going to beat these guys. It's just go faster than them. Just wait for their guys to come up. That's when you push back. That's how you beat their offside trap. They got figured out. So I don't know. I don't think this is a tactic they use often. Not that I've noticed. It's not like other people were just going for it or whatever. But when you have speed, like United has in these guys, you have to use it. And they figured it. Just the light went on, and they keep saving Eric Ten Hag's job. Like
they do.
I remember listening to the thing or whatever, and the commentators were talking about having him bicycle his way back to the Netherlands or whatever after the match and stuff. I was like, oh my god, yeah, they did not think he would make it into 2024 as United manager, but there you go. 45 minutes solves everything in the English Premier League.
Yep.
An incredible finish. And while I was talking, Adelia, I remembered that I didn't write down any of the scores here for what we did. So we have a score here that we both got wrong. We have a score here that we both got right. We have a score here that you got right and I got wrong. We both got this. And then that didn't happen. And that was wrong. So here we go. Tallying up the first, what was this, 14 matches, or the 14 matches we covered this week. Adelia had 2. Okay.
Well, Snark is
not the best.
Yeah, well, Snark is adding all of that up. Thank you everyone for watching. Like we said earlier, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss when we go live again next week. Not sure on the time yet. Hopefully we can do this at the same time we did it this week, so we can have time to watch the game.
Yes. Let's just say that I won last week and leave it at that.
Okay.
That's all we need to know.
That's all we need to know.
That's all you need to know. Now we're going, guys. Not only are we predicting matches throughout the week, we're predicting matches all the way to the future. The future of 2024. We got matches going in January 1st and 2nd. It starts with maybe one of the least discussed matches we'll get to the week. Brentford and Wolves.
I'm gonna go draw.
I think that's smart. I like the way that Wolves, well, Chelsea helped them out so much. Brentford's gonna win. Okay, so you go draw, I'll go Brentford. Chelsea and Palace. This is at the Bridge.
I just don't think Palace is playing very well at all. I'll go Chelsea at home.
I'm going to say Chelsea at home as well, just because I want to be able to sleep tonight. But yeah, Palace hasn't been well. IU again looked good, but where's Ezzy? Like there's so many players that could be playing better for them, and we have no forwards. So it's gonna. I'm still saying Chelsea. I'd rather say Satan be wrong. Everton gets to play at home, but against Man City.
The Club World Cup champions. Man City.
Rested.
Yeah, Man City.
City's going to win. No, I agree. Brighton versus Spurs at the Amex.
Oh, I'll go Spurs.
Okay, I'm going to say draw.
Okay.
Because you might be right, but I just don't want to say it. Arsenal, West Ham. This will be a good match.
It should be.
But you guys are at home. Yeah, I think Arsenal's going to win. Now, for Chelsea's second game in like 2 days, Luton. We have to go to Kenilworth Road. It'll be fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
But a Luton team that just doesn't want to stop scoring and winning.
Yeah. I'm still going to go Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea's still going to win this match. Hopefully this is the match they figure it out. Or hopefully this is the week some of their houses burned down. Just saying. Villa at home trying to start another streak against Burnley.
Villa.
Well, hopefully they've smartened up.
Yeah.
This has not been a banner week for them, but I'm going to say Villa as well. Palace and Brentford.
Brentford.
They each get to play their second match. I'll agree with you. Brentford should win that match. Oh, yeah. Man City and Sheffield United.
City.
That's at the Emirates. Shouldn't be a problem. Ooh.
At the Etihad, not the
I'm sorry.
Emirates
I always
Stadium,
get
where
I
Arsenal plays.
get them all mixed up. It sounds the same to me. Wolves and Everton.
Wolves.
Ooh, I like it. This is at Molyneux. I'm going to say Everton bounces back.
Okay.
Forest at home. They get United. The sine wave of United.
I don't know. I feel like United figured something out in that second half today, so I'll stay United.
Okay,
They're still better than Forest this year.
Oh yeah, but I'm going to say a draw.
Okay.
Just a few more, including you get to travel to the poor part of Fulham. Arsenal against Fulham at the Cottage.
Arsenal.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Spurs and Bournemouth. This is at the hallowed and vaunted Tottenham Hotspur Stadium that everybody wants to put their name on.
This will be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Spurs because they're at home, but it should be a good game.
I'm going to say Bournemouth because it's more fun.
Okay.
Well, I think this match would have been more interesting a few months ago. Liverpool and Newcastle.
Liverpool.
Liverpool's going to win, no problem. And then to wrap up, we've already wrapped up 2023 by this point, but to wrap up this week matches, West Ham and Brighton.
West Ham.
It's at London Stadium. I believe they're going to win as well. So there you go. We've done it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Snark, where can people find you?
Well, usually you'd be able to find me weekends here with LGRN after Snark, but we've taken an extended holiday break. We'll be back in the new year, just in time to, after all these matches and stuff, we'll probably start up again very soon. You can also catch me Thursdays on the Rewatchers Council here on the network with you, Adelia, young Ferris Muthana as well, where you're talking a full 144 episode rewatch of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're up to, we'll be talking the Puppet Show next, but we are on an extended Christmas break for that as well. We're just taking a holiday. We'll be back very soon with it. And yeah, it's been super fun. I can't wait to do another episode. That's it for me.
Yeah. Absolutely. You can find me this Friday on the Entertainment Channel, the Open Table, LGRN's New Year's Hangout. Unfortunately, some things come up, so Ferris won't be able to join us. So it'll be me and some of the members of the LGRN crew and some of our patrons hanging out and just having a little New Year's hangout. And we will be back here next week, starting 11 Tuesday. We'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific live. Recapping the rest of the festive fixtures, as they call them on NBC, and then we will we'll be going back to our regular 3 p.m. Pacific time slot after that. But thank you everyone for tuning in tonight, and have some happy holidays.
Ooh.